When it comes to exercise, many of us compare ourselves to the lightest we were, the fittest we were, the best performance we ever gave. Now, when we're not in the same position, we might feel embarrassed to get back to exercise, despite really wanting to get fit again. I'm going to share 3 principles which might be useful to bear in mind to help you overcome your embarrassment to exercise and feel confident to get going again. I'm Dr. Paula Watson, and I'm an exercise psychologist specialising in weight and related behaviours. I see a lot of clients who have put on weight and they're seeing me because they want to get fit again, but at the same time they feel embarrassed to exercise because they're worried about what others are going to think about the weight they've put on. It can be a natural thing to compare ourselves to others and to compare ourselves to who we used to be. And the way society sees bodies and body shape isn't helpful for us in this regard, because a lot of the information we see on social media and in the media, and I'm sure you don't need me to tell you this, is not representative of the average human adult. So if we take the UK, for example, over half of our population are living with overweight or obesity. And it's quite common. In fact, you'll be very hard pressed to find somebody who's 40 years old and is healthy that weighs less than when they were 20 years old. So it's a natural thing for us to gain a few pounds as we get older and to change over time, because there's many life circumstances that can lead to this. There's changes in our metabolism for a start, but there's also things like having children, different work responsibilities, different schedules that actually might mean we're less active or might mean our diets change in some way. And despite us trying to tell ourselves it's what's on the inside that counts, it can be really difficult not to be influenced by this bombardment of images of what the ideal body type is. And we can then start blaming ourselves. We can feel a failure for having let ourselves go. We can feel we're less of a worthy person because we're living with overweight. And we're in this strange paradox where we really desire to lose some weight, but then we've got this real mental barrier that's holding us back from doing one of the things that is going to help us get to that place, which is, of course, exercise. So next time you're tempted to avoid exercise because you feel embarrassed about it, try and bear these 3 principles in mind. The first one is that by letting your embarrassment win, you're actually keeping yourself stuck in the cycle and preventing yourself from reaching your goals. So let me explain this. Imagine when somebody suggests exercise to you or that thought enters your mind, your automatic thoughts will be, oh no, it's going to be awful. People are going to judge me. What are they going to think of me? I'm a bad person for gaining all this weight. How do those thoughts make you feel? It's likely that they will make you feel embarrassed, ashamed, going to feel a bit low and unmotivated. As a result, you're going to avoid exercise, you're not going to go. You get stuck in this cycle, so you're actually never letting yourself get evidence to prove yourself wrong and that people actually aren't going to judge you. So let's look at an alternative cycle. Imagine if when you think of exercise or someone suggests going to do some exercise, instead you focus on what you can control and you think something like, if I go and do some exercise, it's going to help me reach my goal of losing weight. That kind of thought is likely to help you feel more confident, help you feel more motivated, which in turn will help you get out there and do the exercise. And when you go out there and do the exercise, that's going to boost your confidence and motivation further, so you then get stuck in this positive cycle. Secondly, the relationship between physical fitness and weight is much less close than we actually think. You can actually be living with overweight and be physically fit. Studies also show that physical fitness is as important, sometimes even more important, for our cardiovascular health than weight. So we tend to kind of think if someone's a healthy weight, we presume they're physically fit and they're healthy. But have a think about this. Think about everybody you know. Is it always the people who are lightest and the healthiest weight who are also the most active and the physically fit? And is it always that the people who are overweight are less active and more likely to be sitting on the couch all day? I suspect this isn't the case. And if you want further evidence, go along to your local park run, which is at 9 o'clock every Saturday morning across the UK. It's a 5k walk or run. Just go along and observe. And you will notice that there are all shapes and sizes, physically fit people all looking very different, which suggests that there's perhaps not an ideal body type for an exerciser. The third thing is remembering that the majority of people are kind-natured, and 99% of the comments they will be thinking are likely to be positive. I suspect that you have lots going through your head about what you're predicting people are going to think about you. These would probably be really harsh and things that you would never dream of saying to somebody else. I suspect none of this is true, and if you don't believe me, try and put yourself in the other person's position. So imagine somebody's coming back to your gym, your exercise class after months away, years away. The kind of thoughts you're likely to be thinking are far more along the lines of, oh wow, it's great to see them again. Good on them for having the confidence to come back in. You're likely to be seeing the person beyond what they weigh and just have a genuine enthusiasm to see them again. Remember, you are far more as a person than what you weigh. Good luck with the process and let me know how you get on. And if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing because it will help us reach other people in your situation so they can benefit. Sometimes these generic tips are enough to get you started, but I do also offer one-to-one exercise psychology support if you feel this would be helpful for you. Because sometimes we need more tailored support, sitting down with a human being to help us work through these things. And whilst the automatic thought sometimes to go for help with our exercise is a personal trainer, sometimes the problem isn't actually the physical and it's more mental. And that's when seeing an exercise psychologist can help. So please do reach out if you want to talk further.